welcome to Mechanics and Materials Lab. This is where the actual lab is for mechanics and material. I am standing in front of it, by the way. I am Professor or Dr. Walter McCauley. So I just want to introduce you to the lab and kind of show you the equipment that we have in this lab, and maybe talk about some of the tests that we do run in the Mechanics and Material Lab at St. Martin's University. All right, you ready for a tour? Let's do this. All right, so this is the lab. Again, if you look closely, we are in Cibula Hall, and the room number to the lab is right here on the door. Room number 106, of course, on the first floor, right? And we go into the lab. You can see most of the chairs are on the table because they've done some cleaning. And of course, we have 3 sets of tables in this lab, usually maybe 5 students to each table. And we can do group work as well that way easily, right? This is, of course, the front of the room. We have a whiteboard, an electronic whiteboard there. And of course, the instructor station, there's a sink right here as well, in case you need it. Again, one of the things I want you to think about when you do step into this lab is as soon as you get over that threshold, even though this may not look exactly like a lab that you might used to, it is in fact a lab. And so I want you to think about that you are in a lab space and you need to start thinking safety, right? So when you come into the lab, you need to start thinking safety. So make sure you know about your surroundings. And take any safety precautions that you need to take. One of the first things I want to show you in this box right here, and I'm going to pan up and over, safety glasses, right? Of course, if you get your safety glasses, make sure you clean it and put it on. If you're going to be around some of the equipment that might send particles out at you, so you need to make sure you have on safety glasses as well. All right, so again, instructor station, right here, we have a scale. I can remove this bag from it. All right, so we have a Defender scale here, O-House. So anything we might need to weigh, we will probably most likely use that scale. We got a computer station, of course, an extra whiteboard just in case we need it. This is a hardness testing machine. As you can see here, we have an electronic device here, a frame device, where we can do 2 different tests that we typically would run on this setup here. The setup that you see is installed, that right there. That is for torsion test. There. Okay, that is for torsion test, right? And the setup that you do see, this attachment here on the table, if you can replace this attachment with that attachment, then now you can do a shear force in a beam test on this same frame machine. Okay, so 2 tests that we can run using this setup. These are some of specimens that we just got in. Tension test coupons, and that's a Charpy test coupon. We have some other equipment that's a burner. Sometimes we need to heat up some stuff. But again, it's an open burner. So if you're going to use this burner, you just got to be careful. Right? We have some sensors. That's a sensor right there by the kosher salt. I'm not sure why the kosher salt is here, but somebody probably used it for an experiment. Another scale, older kind. If you need to use it, we have the weights for them. And we just have additional specimens that we've been using all along, strewn all across the lab. All right. Here is a Charpy test equipment. Let me set this down. All right, that's a Charpy test equipment, and basically you can look at fracture. fracture mechanics, right? You can set the test coupon or the test specimen in that machine and be able to move that center arm up and down where it hits the equipment and tries to break, and basically you can read energy of that equipment there. All right, so we keep moving around. We have this is a compression testing machine. Right, I'm gonna just kind of pan to the floor so you can see the entirety of it, and then the top of it. Right, on the left there is the compression testing machine itself. At the bottom part of it right here, you can put any specimen that you want to test in compression. If you need to test a specimen in tension, it goes at the top right there. That frame around it is just, again, for safety. Right, if you're doing a tension test, you might want to keep it up there. If you're doing a compression test, you might want to make sure that frame or that grid there is around the bottom. All right, so you can do compression test, tension test on the Tenius Olson. Right, you see the name there, Tenius Olson machine. Right, and that's just the computer station and the readout panel right there. That's the readout panel for that equipment. We also have a printer attached to it. I'm hoping we'll get a newer printer soon. Awesome. And let's keep moving on. Let's see what else I can show you in this lab. Right here, this is an equipment that we use for creep test. Right, those white things that you see there. Those three different things are weights. Right, there are different weights, and we use that to perform creep test. Right, we'll perform creep test on the rods that you see there. Right, and this is the setup where we actually do the creep test in that room there. Right, it's a small enclosure, but you see a frame within there, and you see those yardsticks. We can measure change in length as those specimen creep or move, elongate. All right, so those are just a few tests that we do in this lab. Of course, you can run any additional tests if you have the equipment or you just need the space. Other things I want to talk about, I guess, or just kind of show you is, again, let's look to the top. Over each table we have these it's an electrical outlet. The black cord that you see hanging down is actually just an electrical outlet in case students have computers and they're sitting around the table and they need a charge. They can easily plug into that electrical outlet there, and the other one I believe is water. All right, as you can see, I'm gonna pan around, and there's one over each of the three tables. All right, I think that's really all for the most part. We're gonna walk out, and as you can see, we have an eye wash station. Again, safety, right? We have an eye wash station over here. We have a fire hydrant, not a fire hydrant, but a fire extinguisher. Of course, if you need to call somebody, but what I really want to show is the first aid kit as well. All right, so maybe we need to move this dolly in front of the fire extinguisher so you can have easy access to it. All right, but again, lastly, of course, you all might have seen this. It's the flip guide to emergency response for St. Martin's University's campus. All right, well, that's it, and we are going back out. And as you can see, this is the way out.